Rule number 1. My subjects of the films I make must have deep interpersonal themes and characters. For me, I find the most interesting part of a film to be an examination of character, and I want my films to explore the inner workings of what makes a person through their character. I look at films such as Phantom Thread and wonder what Reynolds' problem is. This film goes into deep interpersonal problems that explore the complexities of relationships and the human condition. Phantom Thread's characters portray a complex theme of power and insecurity, and this deep level of understanding character is something I need to do in my own filmmaking. Rule number 2. Color will be used as a way to show transition. To show a stylistic and character change, I feel is the most effective way to show visual signification. Whether it's muted to vibrant or warms to cools, I want color to show a transformation as the character and story do the same. Looking at the Grand Budapest Hotel, I see everything I want in strong color visual signification. Inside the Grand Budapest Hotel's past, the tones are pink, red, and vivid saturation versus the warm oranges and browns, almost like what a faded photograph would look like in the present day. This signifies Zero's attachment to the past, to all the people he knew that are now gone. This choice is specific yet meaningful to the story and to the characters, and that's something I idolize to even come close to imitating. Rule number 3. For soundtracks, music will always be simplistic and appropriately timed in order to add to the experience instead of distract. I think of simple 2 or 3 instrument tracks that appear in appropriate places with minimal vocal soundtracks that aren't diegetic. I look at Eyes Wide Shut as a great example of this. The majority of the film, we have simple piano cues that cut into naturalized diegetic sound. For example, the sound of the car driving up the road, the sound of someone walking. It's a simple piano track that cuts into this. And what I am playing for you right now on the screen, that appears whenever Tom Cruise's character is brought to attention by something pertaining to the organization. It's simple, it's meaningful, and it cues the audience of what to look out for. I feel this is the most effective way of having music that adds to a visual experience, and that is something I want in my cinema. Rule number 4. In action sequences, there will not be any fast cutting that is uncalled for. I find the best action scenes are done in longer takes with minimal cutting. With fast cuts, I get distracted and at times disoriented, and I prefer smoother choreography that makes it easier for me to comprehend what's happening. So this style in Fast and Furious 7 is not what I want. I feel almost underwhelmed with quick, shaky cuts since I can't tell what they're doing or why they're doing it in the moment. While I'm watching it, I feel I'm not getting much of the story. However, with Children of Men, I appreciate the long take. Everything feels more fluid and natural. I'm also getting character and story in these shots, and I feel in big action sequences, I want that similar flow and to feel more cohesive so that I can see the story and character progress within the action sequence. Rule number 5. All endings will deal with a feeling or theme of acceptance. Whether it be peaceful or bittersweet, no ending shall feel miserable, and there will always be hope. I'm not a fan of endings that feel hopeless, and I always tend to want to end on a slightly more positive note, whatever that may be for the story or character. Call Me by Your Name is a great example of this. I want to incorporate moments like this where the camera, the audience, we're all just trained on this character's expression in their most vulnerable state, and we just stay with them for however long it takes to move through that moment. To me, that feels real, raw, and honestly beautiful. There's just this feeling of peace, but it's sad. It's so sad. Loving Vincent has a very different ending, something that's more finite and peaceful. We go on this journey with this man who is searching for what happened to Vincent, and at the end, we are led to believe that he finally gets his answer. I want my endings to feel like this, where maybe it wasn't what you wanted, but you can accept that. And whether or not someone is happy with what they've discovered, there's this acceptance that brings everything to a final close. Thank you for watching my midterm video.